What is going on, Paragon community? We are back again with another talk session on Paragon version 40.1. All right, guys. So this, like I said before, this my channel, and this segment is pretty much just to give the Paragon community some sort of talk, some sort of place where we can discuss the state of the game, and hopefully give feedback towards Epic and things like that. I intend to do collaborations with other YouTubers soon, and so in this one here, we're just going to talk about the new community corner that came out, focused on tanks. And I'm going to give you my opinion on it. I don't know how long this one's going to be. I did not write a script or anything like that for this one, so I might ramble a little bit. But this is something I hold very dearly to my heart. I love playing a tank. I love the idea of it, as you can see here with that gorgeous Master Richter. Unfortunately, I don't have old Saint Rick. Don't judge me there. Anyway, what does it mean to be a tank? What does that mean to the Paragon community? Now, this video might actually be a little bit longer. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where this one goes. What does it mean to be a tank? I typically, I'm not gonna lie, I'm guilty of this. Hey, I'll just throw a bunch of health and armor on anybody I want, and the next thing you know, I got 3,500 health. I'm taking everything. No one can stop me. You think that shit. You think that, but that's not how Epic views being a tank. They view it as, I mean, if anybody's played MMORPG, I think I should say that, you know that a tank typically has a larger health pool and some sort of move where they press said button, and now this mob of enemies focuses me. Now, when that happens, typically you press the button, they all focus on you, but you need to be able to do damage to maintain the aggro. If the archer in the back is hitting much harder than you, the mob is not going to care that you're standing there. They're just going to walk over to him. Same thing can kind of be said here in Paragon. If we jump into a team fight, right? We're just going at them. And I have my Greystone here, built with just a ton of health and a ton of armor. We all know Greystone would be almost unkillable at that point. Anybody who's played enough Paragon would realize that this guy probably ain't gonna die no matter what. And if he does die, he'll be back to life within a couple of seconds. The problem, and that sounds fantastic, but the problem there is that you're not able to maintain aggro. Yes, you're hard to kill, yeah. I mean, when 5 people are attacking you, you're not that hard to kill. But in the team fight, you are not a threat. Yes, you will stay alive. Yes, you'll do a little bit of damage. Yeah, you're not defenseless, but it's not an imminent threat. It's not enough of a threat to where I need to focus you over Murdoch. It's not enough of a threat. I'm not even gonna say the carry. It's not enough of a threat to where I need to focus you over the howitzer or something like that. So what you want to do, and this is gonna lead me into the next thing. You want to have a more rounded deck that makes you able to tank. And this is my opinion, of course. I am by no means the Paragon. I am by no means what I guess people would consider the best. It's not me, but I am smart, at least I like to think. And I do understand Paragon. I understand it. I understand this game, which is why I like it so much. And I understand that what they wanted, what they viewed, is pretty much someone, like I said, who has abilities that you have to address. You have to address this thing, and if you're a tank. And you also need to be able to mitigate damage fairly well, at least better than everyone else on your team. And there's a couple people that I'm going to throw out some suggestions that I think work really well with that in mind. And I'm going to say, I think a tank Aurora is something we don't see often, but man, would that shit be pretty awesome. Her circle is fantastic. You need to address Aurora, period. When you see Aurora is drafted in the lobby, you should be addressing that shit. So, in the middle of a team fight, I imagine it'd be no different. And her elusiveness only adds to her ability to be a threat to you, and then she can typically get away. Typically. Very hard to stop an Aurora. Crunch, my man. Fantastic tank. His abilities pretty much speak for themselves. He has the knock-up. He has the slow. He's a fantastic initiator. But at the same time, he's very durable. You don't see that in his thing there. in his description, you see initiator, burst, wild. I believe is jungle, controller. I wouldn't really call him much of a controller. And attacker. I think attacker should have been a bit higher on the list. I think attacker should be higher than wild, but that's just my opinion. I think the new jungle update really takes him out of the wild section thing, and he's early. And he's early. I don't think anyone should be in the jungle at this point who doesn't have some sort of region factor in there, like a Kwang, I guess Rampage. Well, yeah, I'm not talking. I guess, yeah, Rampage can jungle. What are you talking about? I think Rampage is a fantastic jungle. If we're talking about just being able to stay alive in the jungle, but when you come out and you want to get ganks, and he goes, ugh, and everyone hears that you picked up a rock, you ain't gonna hit me. And especially if I got a Yin. I think Yin really just kind of knocked Rampage lower on the list. That's my opinion. I mean, obviously, you can have a Rampage and keep busting Yin upside the head because she's too stupid to reflect it, or just not good enough to reflect it. These are all possible scenarios. But you don't have, I mean, I can't imagine being Rampage kind of low on health, or whatever, I mean, half health. I throw a rock, she knocks it back, I get stunned, and then I get deleted. I'm gonna be pissed. And I'm probably not going to play Rampage again if I see Yin on the other team. So, with that being said, there's some really good tanks in there. I've seen people start saying FaZe should tank and stuff. I don't agree, guys. I don't. Let's stop this now. Yes, she gets lots of health regen. Yes, all of that. Fine. But is she a big enough threat mid-fight? And does she have damage to hold aggro? No. She is a threat. You want to address FaZe pretty quickly. But as a tank, no. Because everyone's just going to focus her down, and she has nothing that she can do to damage anyone. She just runs away after she blinds you. Don't do it, guys. Save yourself, please. Narbash, on the other hand, who got completely overshadowed by FaZe in version 40, Age of the Intellect. Narbash is a fantastic tank. He's very durable, so he gets a little bit of stuff on his own as far as armor goes. I don't think the health difference is much. I don't think the durability difference between anyone is honestly enough. I looked it up, I think Revenant gets like 1400 health, and he's at 3 durability. But someone like Narbash, who is at 8, literally 5 points higher than him, gets like 1600? What does that 200 really mean? What is it? What does it really mean at this point? Come on, guys. You guys need to do better for these. I mean, that's just my opinion. I think that more should be done there for sure. I don't think that that's enough of a difference. And I know you get a little bit more armor and stuff as well. But yeah, I mean, if you want to be a tank, man, you got to have someone who has something that is able to continuously poke the enemy in the middle of a team fight and have things that can mitigate damage. I think that Feng Mao actually could become a formidable tank if you actually did it right. He has access to Honor the Pure. He has his own shield. That man can teleport in, activate Honor the Pure for everyone, start beating people up, hamstringing and everything, doing his whole thing, activate his other shield when that one runs out, keep going, maybe pop his ult. This guy is a monster. And if you don't deal with this guy, he's just swinging all over the place. I see it. I see it working. I don't know. Haven't tried it at all, but I see it working. I think that he could pose enough of a threat with his slows and just his wide range of attack that I think that he could be a formidable threat to the whole team, especially with Hamstring being an AoE kind of slow thing. You're able to hit everyone in team fights. I think he's great. But that's my opinion on, that's also Epic's opinion on tanks. I think that tanks are actually in a good spot thanks to version 40. I saw the change to the cards, and I was like, oh boy, they're only buffing it like 10 points. What is this really going to do? Man, it seems to make a bit of a difference. Maybe it's because it was only at was it like 50 and then like 100 before, that it seems like more when I build it now. But I typically, when I build like a health card, I'll go like Amulet of the Veteran and put 223. So I'll get about, before I used to get about 500 health or something like that. Now I get about 600. So if I'm building tank, I'm probably going to have 3 health cards filled like that. That's going to give me a lot more health. I think it's going to give me about 1800 when before it used to be 1500. So it adds up the more you keep doing. The more you invest into the health, the more you invest into defense, the more you get out of it. So at first glance, it's a small change, but I definitely respect it. And I've been seeing more tanks because of it. I saw a tank crunch that was phenomenal. Moving on, I want to touch on the fact that I've been getting into conversations lately, and basically people are saying, "Hey guys, there is certain ways you build a hero, and that is just the end of it. There's no discussion. This is how you build them. End of story." And the hero I'm talking about in particular would be Countess. I respect everybody's build. I'm not the guy who's gonna shame your build because I've walked into matches like, oh shit, we're gonna lose. We got a phase, a Narbash, a Countess, absolutely no tank. It's over, and then we win. So, I mean, you never really know. I mean, Narbash is a tank, but you get what I'm saying. When you got bad team comps, you just kind of just like, this isn't gonna work. And then you find out when you're looking through the cards, you're like, man, this guy actually knew what he was doing. He picked his person on purpose because he has this card. He played this way and outplayed this person, which a lot, it's. I think that's something we see too much of. I play a character a certain way, and if I see that you're picking this person in a different lane, or you're picking this person not running cards that I deem worthy on this hero, I have a problem with it. I don't think that that's a smart way to play, and I don't think that's the way the game was intended to be played. Because if you look here, we see Grux. Grux. Well, actually, we're gonna go over it. We're gonna go to the carry. I've noticed that every carry seems to have this attribute. If you look at all of them, the first thing you see is Marauder, right? Marauder, blah blah blah, Marauder. But if you look, the very next thing you see is Attacker, and I believe Attacker is basically someone who is a balanced hero, someone who has a bit of health and decent damage, able to contribute to a team fight normally, with doing moderate damage, nothing out of the usual, like a carry, someone building massive amounts of health and crit and cards that will do massive damage. In this case, you can technically build Seraph, let's say, to have an extra 1200 health. I'm not going to say mana, but a decent amount of damage and attack speed, but you also have a decent amount of health and maybe a tune barrier thrown in there as well, so you don't get deleted by Chimera and Countess. That technically isn't a carry build. Technically isn't a Marauder build because you're focusing other things. You're going for a more healthy deck. And if you look here, Seraph is capable of this. I think Seraph is the best carry for this because she has a very reliable escape move, and she's awesome. But Sparrow's capable of it as well. Same with Revenant. They're all capable of this. You can play a hero a different way. It does not have to be the one set way. And the person I was talking to at the time was like, oh, if you're going to play Countess, you have to have 5 Shadow Scrolls in the story. Not exactly. They gave good reasons as to why. Because, quote unquote, the amount of health you build just won't matter. I disagree there. I think any health you build will matter. And we all know that when Morgus tries to stab us with her ultimate and we walk away with like 100 health, hell yeah, that health that you added on mattered. Otherwise, you'd be dead looking at a timer, typing in on Reddit how much Morgus is broken. But since you invested simply 10 points in the health, now you survived. And you can go back to base and you can come back and help push a lane, help do something instead of being dead because you thought all damage was just the way to go because the numbers go up when it looks pretty. Like, no, it's not. Yes, you can play that way. Yes, you can. And that is completely up to you if you do. But this video here, I kind of wanted to touch on the drawbacks of doing that. And it should be pretty obvious. If you don't build into other things, if you don't build into utility, if you don't build into defense, and you're just offense, obviously you should see the drawbacks there. You're not going to have the ability to shred armor. You're not going to have the ability to use thick blood, which you could definitely be using on Countess. You're not going to have the ability to do multiple things because you wanted your ultimate to do massive damage. And that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. Like I said, I just don't think that should be the philosophy for almost every hero. I hear that with Chimera. I hear it with Countess. I hear it with Morgus. I don't think that that's right. I don't think that's the way the game was intended to be played. Of course, I don't work for Epic. I don't know. It's just how I play it, and it's how I like to do it. Now, right now I'm working on Bellica Master. I know how he is like level 9, but I'm working on Bellica, and man, if it's one thing I've learned about Bellica so far from playing her is that she can do a wide variety of things. She gets a decent amount of damage. I'm not going to say decent. She gets a fantastic amount of damage. At the same time, when we get into a team fight, I've noticed that your stun, your seismic assault, which I absolutely love. I adore that ability. I love it. And you're probably going to get one off per team fight, maybe two. I don't see more than two because I just don't see more than two. Even if you build cooldown reduction, the fight is probably going to be over after you get the second one off. You know, depending on who won, I don't know, but you're probably not going to have like a 45-second, 30-second team fight. And I think the cooldown is like 12 seconds. It's pretty lengthy. It's definitely not as short as her other ability, the Void Bomb. This one's 6 seconds, yeah, and this one's like 15. So you might get like two off in a fight. But the Void Bomb, on the other hand, you're going to get more of these off. So what does that tell me? That tells me that if I sat here, let's just say, I sat here and I built a shit ton of of damage into her. Yes, I'm going to hurt you when I hit you with that Seismic Assault and Void Bomb. But at the end of the day, I'm only going to be able to get one of these off. I'm going to get that one big combo off, and then I'm going to pretty much be stuck shooting you with my SMG, which is fine. I like doing that. And dropping Void Bombs all over the place. That's what it's going to be. So, with that mentality, and if you look at the cost, that's like 140. I think it gets up to like 160 at max. That's expensive. Even if you don't build mana and you got like 1100 mana, that's still expensive. There's no way around that, especially if you're doing your Seismic Assault, your ultimate, you're going to run out extremely quickly. So what do? You could change your build up and plan for that and say, hey, I'm going to build a little bit extra mana. I've heard that mana regen is better from this guy named Sylphin. Check him out on YouTube. He was talking about how, which I agree with, and I actually went and tried it the very next match. Mana regen works right away. As soon as you use some mana, your mana regen is going. While if you build mana, and this was slick, man. This guy is smart. If you build mana, you only get the benefit from the mana you built when you run out of what would have been your initial amount of mana. And if you're dead before that, then I don't think it really mattered. While mana regen, the moment you use something, it starts coming back. I think that's an interesting mindset to have for it. Do I think one is better than the other? No. I don't think one is better than the other. I just think it's an interesting decision to be faced with. Now, I tried it after I watched his video on that, and I think it was extremely smart, but I don't feel as though it worked for me because I don't think that we get enough mana regen for the amount of points that it's costing versus just straight up mana. I think we get like 0.3 for like a 2-point investment into it. Like, what is 0.3? Like, I don't know. It's an insult when you look at health regen. At least I think. But yeah, I mean, I think that we should be seeing more diverse builds. And honestly, maybe that won't come until we get to a point where we get that card rework that they're always hitting at, and which I'm interested to see. And I'm scared to see. I like the cards now. I like how it is now. I'm scared to see what they're going to do, but I trust Epic. I mean, they've always been right so far. So I trust Epic. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Scared to see how this one goes. I'm scared to see how they handle this one. But yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely, guys, get out there. I want to see different builds. I want to see people playing heroes with more thought put into it. I don't want to see it and think about the power, but if you're just going power and penetration, it ain't much thought, bruh. I'm sorry. It just isn't. You just want to hit hard, and you think that's going to win the game, but it's not. Because if you have a decent tank on the other team, or two decent tanks, what are you doing now? If you're the Grux and you're all damage, versus my Richter, I'm going to shut you down. Like, it's just what it is. I don't know, guys. That's my opinion. Obviously, I'm sure there's someone out there who's going to send me a clip and be like, you don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. But from what I've seen and the way I play, it seems to... There is more variety that I think people are aware of for how you play heroes. There's much more variety than I see when I check the cards after each game. But guys, that is it for this one here, episode 2. We are done. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I rambled on long enough for you guys. I always love talking about Paragon, so I like to get these videos out there. This is a great segment for me to start for you guys. Check out my next video. I'm going to try to drop one of these very often. I don't want to say every day because they usually wait about a week before they do anything interesting in Paragon. But every time that I get some, some news for Paragon, I'm definitely going to bring it to you guys. Check out my other videos on the channel as well. This is the only video game that I'm covering on this channel. I love Paragon. It's the only video game I play, so it just made sense. But I also do videos on all other things, pop culture, media, things like that. Check out my other videos, guys. Or just tune in, hit that bell. Every time I got a Paragon video, you guys come check it out. I appreciate your support that I've been getting from Facebook. I appreciate it all. In the next video, we're going to talk about the skins. We're going to talk about the T4s, well, the hinted at T4 skin, and all the skins that we have in the game, and how I feel about how they're going about it. And I'm going to try to bring someone else onto it for you guys, just so we can get somebody else's opinion as well. Till next time, guys, like, share, subscribe. I will catch you guys in the next video.